Hey there friends, what's going on? It's Codiak here and welcome back to our coverage of Assassin Creed Valhalla. I know a lot of you guys, just like us, have been waiting for Wrath of the Druids, and that day is finally almost here. Now, full disclosure, we did not get early access to this game, to this DLC. It is a huge shame, but it's just the cards that we were dealt, so we will be behind some of the other big content creators in the space. But you know what? We're going to take a new approach. We're not going to care. We're just going to do our content of the game. We know you guys love our Assassin's Creed stuff, and we're not slowing down anytime soon. So today, what we're going to do is check out the brand new launch trailer for the DLC. A lot of cool stuff in there. I want to watch it together. I want to talk about it, and I just want to get re-hyped for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Not talk about DLC, you know, in terms of the store packs and the Helix stuff. I want to talk about the game. I want to talk about going to Ireland, and I want to talk about all of the adventures that we have in front of us. So let's dive in and let's check out that brand new trailer. Oh yeah, I already feel like I'm in Ireland.
It's a mystery. Listen, and you will hear the beginnings of the world. But a grim tide begins to stir. It is a force greater than kingdoms. It is a shadow darker than war. Fear has captured the kingdoms. Whispers of dark spirits. The Children of Danu have perverted their beliefs into a weapon.
Whoever plotted this was ready to die.
If it takes a bloody war, we must be prepared for it.
Ireland is scarred by rivalry, but it will take all its kingdoms to save it.
There is but one move to make.
The Children of Danu make the poison, but they also hold its cure. I pray the spirits guide you.
Oh yeah. Love the headbutt and the flip there.
Itself, the scorching sun come to earth.
It ends. Bury the past. Build the future.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, you can love or hate on Ubisoft all you want. There is no doubt they know how to weave a good story, especially in a short period of time. They are masters at re-engaging the hype via a trailer, and I think they did a really nice job putting that one together. I get the problem, I get the conflict, and I am just totally immersed in the Irish feel of this DLC. Jesper Kid, I assume, put the music together. Just masterful as always. And again, look, this is a hype thing. I'm excited about getting into Assassin's Creed Valhalla again. Like I said, it's not about the Helix stuff. It's not about the store stuff. It's about the adventures ahead. So let's dial it back and let's talk about some of the gameplay stuff. Now, I'm not going to pretend I'm a master or an expert at Irish culture, because I'm not. But we see a lot of similarities in the way that the world, it's parallel to what we experienced in England, right? We've got rolling hills, we've got plateaus, we've got vistas, and then we have sprinkled in here a lot of Irish culture. So we see Irish structures in terms of, you know, this building obviously on the right looks like something from Stonehenge, which is English, but this is an Irish version of that. Of course, Ireland had its own structures and culture and things happening in that region of the world during this period of time in history. Obviously, we're in the fantastical realm because this is a fantasy RPG, but of course, they're always pulling on those realistic things to inspire their world. So we step through here and we immediately get the setup of here we are in Ireland, and then here is the problem. And we see this transition right here as we're looking at the Celtic cross. Kind of makes me believe that the Children of Danu were some sort of religious group that went fanatical. That's often the case with cults, especially just throughout history. A religious fanaticism turns into kind of depravity, and that's exactly what we're dealing with here. I think it's very symbolic that they held for a very long time on this shot with the cross as we go from kind of a beautiful daytime scene to dark and gloomy. It just speaks to me as somebody that's in the promo world. I get it totally. So we switch over here and I'm immediately thinking, wow, this looks like The Witcher 3. So a completely different vibe. We've got the fantastic mixed in with the reality of Ireland and our adventures in Ireland. So this is obviously some sort of skeletal transformed elk horse type creature. I don't know if obviously it's not a real creature, but it's something inspired by all of those different aspects, but corrupt most likely by the Children of Danu. So again, very Witcher 3 vibes, which is really cool. I like that. If I get some more Witcher 3 in my life, I'm okay with that. And then we're here on the Children of Danu. We see the dead bodies hanging from the trees. We see the skulls, a lot of elk imagery. We've seen that before. We know the Children of Danu are inspired or at least guided by some sort of elk spirit or spirit that includes some sort of horns and antlers. And then here we are. We finally get a look at the Children of Danu. They are celebrating or meeting or worshiping, whatever they're doing. And yes, it is a big group of cult fanatics that we are going to have to deal with as players. We do see that Irish statue in the middle of the scene here. We talked about that in a previous video, being in a very specific point in Ireland, leading me to believe, yeah, that's probably where we're going to go to at least resolve the story with the Children of Danu. It's going to be a part of that story. We do know, watching some other streams of other content creators, that that's actually something that we can design into our settlements at some point. So it could just be a design element. It could be more than that. Hard to say at this point. We've got a lot of different members of the Children of Danu here. They all look slightly different. We've got some sort of leader figure here. Love the way that they design these characters. Obviously, the antlers give them a lot of flexibility for designs, but with the burgundy ropes and the coins hanging off of everything, it makes them feel expressive without showing their faces, right? And I really like that. I think that's some really smart design. All right, now we're back into Happy Land. We're back in Ireland land, and look, we're looking at a village here. This could be Dublin. This could be somewhere else. We see a lot of similar vibes and designs as we experienced in the base game of Valhalla here. Obviously, inspired by the architecture and the Nordic influences of the time, but distinctly Irish at the same time, which I think is really cool. Things are still not good. We get right back here into, okay, well, the world is still kind of falling apart, and it's all because of the Children of Danu doing some sort of cultic ritual sacrifice. There's clearly a body on that table behind him, possibly multiple bodies. I see multiple pairs of legs there. So these guys aren't good. If you haven't picked up on that at this point, I don't know what to tell you. These guys are not good. And then we get to some gameplay stuff. Man, I am so excited to use the sickle weapons. They look different than the sickle swords that we talked about from Assassin's Creed Origins, and I am just ready for this. I'm ready for a new type of weapon. This will hopefully satisfy some of the fans that are ready for one-handed swords. This is technically a one-handed sword. If I can dual wield these bad boys, I think that's going to be a new meta. That would be my guess, because they're going to be fast, they're going to be awesome. And of course, with a new weapon, developers are always going to sprinkle in some really awesome stats or bonuses with these things. That's just the way developers do this sort of introduction of new items. So I'm really excited about this. I know it's been confirmed for a while, but it still gets me excited to see new weapons coming into the game. So here we go. The Children of Danu are stalking this village here. We've got a character here. This is obviously not Eivor, but just interesting to look at the different armors that he's wearing. We see those kind of coins that we were just talking about with the Children of Danu woven into the armor as a much bigger facet of the gear. I think that's kind of interesting. That's something clearly in Irish culture or Irish design, and I don't know. I'm not an Irish expert, but it's very obvious that that's part of the design of the world, that kind of gold filigree coinish thing built into different parts of the game. We've also got a really cool looking helmet here and a soldier that's about to get absolutely worked over. And he's using, what do you know, a one-handed sword. Pretty interesting to see that too. So the Children of Danu, clearly, I mean, you can tell by the juxtaposition here. I can go one scene back and forth here. The world is on fire, but oh wait, here's the hope. And this is where they pivot to talking about our adventures in Ireland and what we bring to the table. So we've got Eivor rolling up on an Irish coastal city, whether it's Dublin, whether it's something else, we don't know. Raven Clan shield in tow, meeting some new characters here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am not a lore person. I am not somebody that follows the trajectory of every single NPC. So if that's what you're looking for from the channel, probably want to go somewhere else. There's plenty of those out there. Huge shout outs to those guys that do that, because it's just not for me. One thing that I found really interesting about this scene is, look at that. We're back on the table. What do we have? We've got a settlement map. We've got a alliance allegiance map. And that means oh, this DLC is actually going to take us to different regions of Ireland. We're going to have to be dealing with clan conflicts. So that same idea that was in Valhalla transposed over to Wrath of the Druids. So yes, a much bigger game, a much bigger experience than just 2 hours of content. And I think everybody's you should be excited about that. A lot more content. I'm okay with that as long as it's well designed. Of course, we don't know what's different in the game, but that's going to be something that we talk about. Obviously, new character here. This is somebody important. I don't know who this is. They don't say who it is in the game. If I watch some of the other streams, I'm sure I would know who this is. So if you want to spoil it for people, feel free to write that in the comments below. But just know this is clearly some leader figure in Wrath of the Druids. Again, there's that allegiance map. First real view, I should say, in motion, in video, of a ring fort. And I really like the looks of ring forts. They just are so cool. My parents went over to Ireland. They got to actually go into a few ring forts. There are still ring forts over there in Ireland, and that is just so cool and such a uniquely Irish thing. And I feel like I've said that a few times now, but I still get excited seeing this. They're not overly big, right? You've got a couple buildings in there, a couple tents, and then you've got some sort of rampart system, and then a few things outside of it. They're just really cool set pieces in the game, and I cannot wait to explore those once I'm actually playing the game. So we've got ring forts, then we've got another version of a ring fort that's more militarized. We see those red and gold banners on the walls. We see 2 ring forts spread across 2 different little mountaintops here. Just another really cool design. It's not the massive castles, very long and sprawling and vertical elements that we saw in England. It's a little bit different, and I like that. I think a different type of castle environment, siege environment, is going to be pivotal to making the experience feel different. So we've got one there. We've got the conflict that we're kind of talking about with the different clans. Obviously, there were clan conflicts in Ireland during the time. There were a lot of Irish clans and a lot of Irish clansmen. So yes, that's another problem we're going to have to unpack within the game. We see a group here of blue and gold standing outside a fortress that's green and red. So obviously flying their clan colors. Are they allies? Are they enemies? Is one defending? Is one attacking? Just another thing that we're going to have to unravel within the game. Really cool looking soldiers here. Obviously he's pissed. I'm pissed. This guy's pissed. Everybody's pissed about something. And then we're back. Oh yeah, did you forget about the Children of Danu? Because they're really the evil threat. They're, of course, the Templar element of the DLC here. And yeah, we're going to have to deal with them. Really cool shot of Eivor here in a different set of gear. I'm not entirely sure if this is a stripped down set that's actually in the game. If it's something we've seen before, it feels stripped down. And let me just say, I'm excited to see something stripped down. A lot of you guys have talked about getting away from the massive gold ornate armor and weapon designs. This is what we want to see right here. Something that feels more period based, more believable. So I am really excited about that. I'm excited to see Eivor in that armor, not just somebody else in the game. And hopefully we see more of that type of thing in the actual game itself. So Eivor is going to try and find a solution to the Children of Danu. And where do we end up with these 2 Druid characters? We saw them in some leaked imagery before the DLC came out. And yes, they are huge central figures, possibly former Children of Danu or Children of Danu on the light side of things that are going to help us resolve the conflict with them. Really excited to see some new main characters in the mix here. I love the duality of it. There are 2 of them, which gives you just another way to write to them. Instead of Eivor talking to one person, you've got 2 people who are pivotal to the story. That just adds a different layer to things, and I think that's kind of interesting. And then here we go. The ultimate conflict, fighting the Children of Danu. Look at this. She just runs up, punches him right in the face, a big old headbutt, and then boom. Eivor whips out the sickle swords. We know that this was coming. It's just awesome to see. And check out this sequence here. This is just insane. This is just insane. I love it. The animations are great. Boom, right to the gut or the neck. Hard to say. And then a flip over. I mean, come on. How do you not get excited about that? Come on. Just absolutely awesome. Obviously, that's one of the big selling points of Wrath of the Druids. We're going to get sickles in the game. We're going to get some other things in the game, obviously. But now it really is. If you weren't convinced that there were going to be swords in the game like that, well, you should be now. And then we get to this final scene here where we get the ultimate big bad. Boom. Oh, he's a werewolf, or he's some sort of wargish type transforming creature, possibly in the dream world, possibly I've been poisoned. Really hard to say at this point. Nobody's at that point in the game where they know exactly what's going on here. But yeah, we see kind of that haziness that makes me believe I've been poisoned or I've been hallucinating, and this is who we're having to fight now. We do have that same bone spear that we saw in the leaked imagery. A lot of people believe that is a legendary spear. I'm not sure. I know there is a legendary spear in Celtic mythology. I'd be hard-pressed to believe that they're going to add a second legendary spear into the game, but stranger things have happened. Here we go. Absolutely tearing them apart. Again, cool little armor set here. I like it. Doesn't feel overly ornate. It is a new armor set. Really like it. Padded leather. Some gold, but not over the top, and I really like that. And then getting ready to fight this guy right here. This is the creature we talked about when those leaked images came out. I mean, he is an absolute behemoth. Really cool looking, and that's almost like the exact same shot right there. You get a great look at the spear, you get a great look at Eivor's armor, and then of course this hulking werewolf type creature lunging towards us here, and then we're back to everybody being pissed off. Another character here, this is clearly some sort of religious feature, maybe somebody that's corrupt or wants the Children of Danu to ruin everything, so the proper form, what is the word I'm looking for? Structured religion to take over. Obviously there's going to be all these subplots underneath everything. Interesting couple sequences here. This is some sort of legendary creature. We've got another legendary animal hunt, I would imagine here. We see this guy's got massive tusks. It's just, that's what it says to me is, hey, we're going to be killing more legendary animals. And then we've got some more Isu looking things here. We do have our character, our main NPC character with us. We've got some reanimated soldiers, something like that. Here we go. He's got his big old double-handed sword. And then here we go. The end of it all. Hope for tomorrow. Build a better future. That classic storytelling arc that ends with, hey, if you can get past all of this, the day's going to be a little bit brighter on the other side. So very excited about Wrath of the Druids. Cannot wait to dive in on Thursday. We will be streaming this during Legacy After Dark for a little bit. I'm really excited about that. We didn't get to stream it the first time around because we were so busy working on videos. So if you guys want to watch me play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Wrath of the Druids, if you want to see a master at work, no, I'm just kidding. I'm decent at best. Join us for the streams every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday from midnight Eastern Standard Time to 2 a.m. I would love for you guys to join and we could talk about the game. But that's it for now, guys. We've got a lot to digest, a lot to think over as we wait for Wrath of the Druids to come out just a couple days. So if you guys are excited about the DLC, if you want to know more about the game, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We've got more Assassin's Creed content coming in the weeks ahead, so we would love your support. And as always, friends, my name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thank you so much for watching, and play on. Take care.